Welcome back. You're watching NewsX. Samudar Pratap Singh. Our big focus this hour. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has arrived in the Gulf nation of Kuwait for a two-day visit. This is a historic visit. It's the first time in 43 years that an Indian Prime Minister has visited Kuwait. The Prime Minister received a rousing reception upon his arrival with cultural performances and also met the enthusiastic diaspora at his hotel. He's also engaged in a heartfelt meeting with 101-year-old Mangal Sain Handa, former Indian Foreign Service officer. Moreover, he also met with Abdullah Baroun and Abdul Lateef al-Nasef, who translated and edited the ancient epics of Indian Ramayana and Mahabharata into Arabic. Meanwhile, he's now spoken at the Hala Modi diaspora outreach event at the Sheikh al-Abdullah Stadium. He's also thanked the Emir of Kuwait for his invitation and has stated that India and Kuwait are looking forward to building a robust partnership in trade, technology, innovation, as well as defense. Joining us live at this point is Ashok Sajjanat, former diplomat. We also have Major Sudhakarji, defense expert, joining us live. Professor Madhav Nalapat, editorial director of the Sunday Guardian, is also with us live on the broadcast. Ambassador Sajjanat, let me begin with you first. What do you make of the Prime Minister's address to the diaspora today? The focus areas that he put out in that address of his, and also, what it tells us about the partnership between India and Kuwait, and particularly the people-to-people ties with our diaspora there, contributing a big chunk of the total population.
Yeah, you're very right, Uday, and thank you for having me. As you said, Indian diaspora accounts for a very significant proportion for the total population of Kuwait. Kuwait is not a very large country, just about 17,000 square kilometers and a little over 3 million population. And out of that, 1 million is accounted for by the Indian diaspora that is present there. It is the largest diaspora there, and of course, they are contributing very significantly to the progress, to the development, to the growth of Kuwait. And, they are truly serve as a living bridge between the two countries. Coming to what the Prime Minister said, of course, he gave an account of the changes that are taking place in India, the progress that India has made, particularly over the last 10 years in terms of, bringing out 250 million people out of poverty, in terms of the digital payment infrastructure, in terms of technology that India is, harnessing now for the benefit of the people, and how the whole country is working towards Viksit Bharat 2047. So, the 100th anniversary after completion of a century of independence, India should emerge as a developed country. Today, it is the 5th largest economy, going to become the 3rd largest economy. So basically, I think it was a very inspiring talk. It was a very motivating talk, and basically inviting also the diaspora to come and collaborate with India, because he said that this journey to Viksit Bharat 2047 will not be complete without the contribution of the Indian diaspora. So I think all in all, address to the Indian diaspora was very encouraging, very inspiring, as I said. And the visit per se, coming after 43 years, any Indian Prime Minister is going there, and Prime Minister Modi has visited all the countries of the Gulf Cooperation Council, and there has been, this has been one of the most significant success stories, India's relations with the Middle Eastern countries, with West Asia, and how we have been able to take it forward. I think everyone is aware that earlier these countries used to look at India through the prism of Pakistan, through the prism of religion. But today, they have become truly strategic partners, whether it was, August 2019, Article 370 abrogation. Not one of these countries said anything against India. They have been very supportive of India. When we had this, G20 meetings in Srinagar, these countries participated. So I think whether it is in terms of the presence of the Indian diaspora, energy imports, investments from those countries, the IMEC project that the Prime Minister spoke about, India, Middle East Economic, Europe Economic Corridor, I think on all fronts, this is a very, significant partnership. And with Kuwait also, with about more than $10 billion worth of trade, more than $10 billion worth of investment by Kuwait in India. I think these are very significant figures. And with the Prime Minister's tour there, 2-day visit, standalone visit, I think, which is quite rare as it happens, I think that is going to give a further fillip and further impetus to our ties in every sphere. There are so many working groups that are going to be established. We have a joint commission that has been established. So I think we can look forward to very significant uptick in our partnership. Uday.
Major General Sudhakarji as well. Major General Sudhakarji, what makes the India-Kuwait partnership special? Why is this visit so crucial of Prime Minister Modi's? And also, what do you believe stood out in the Prime Minister's address to the diaspora there in Kuwait?
Uday, good evening. Thank you for getting me to your show, and my best wishes to the very distinguished and esteemed co-panelists. And as regards the question which you were raising, to me, as per my thought process, I think the high mark, the high point of this visit is driven by the vision of our Prime Minister. He is one of the very few political leadership I have seen in my lifetime who's working for a vision, who's preparing the nation for 2047. And in order to prepare the nation for 2047, it is not only the military might or the well-being of the people. Everything is going to be driven by the economy. And how does the economy expand? $30 trillion US dollar economy by 2047 or earlier than that. We need to look out. Just given the fact that he is the Prime Minister, visited Kuwait after 43 years, that itself is very revealing. So in fact, as a student of geopolitics, I'm getting surprised and shocked as to why the nation was actually caught napping. Kuwait, look at the geographic location of the Kuwait. The Kuwait is at the head of the Arabian Peninsula with a water body. Onto either side, you have onto the flanks, you have the GCC countries to the west of it. And to the east of it, you have Iraq and Iran. And the entire West Asia is going through a very turbulent phase. And India is a member, very important member of I2U2 and a member of the Quad as well. Given the geographic location, I'm reminded of a book by Dr. Robert Kaplan. He wrote a book by the name of Monsoon, Indian Ocean, the changing power of the American power in 21st century. In that, he is very clearly he's brought out, it's a very well-researched document. He says the 21st century will be driven by the global commercial basket gravitating to the Indian subcontinent. If that be the fact, then we need to prepare not only the immediate neighborhood, the extended neighborhood. And I personally feel it is not the diaspora alone, which is a substantial number. 30% of the workforce of Kuwait are Indians. So you see, 1 million population is a huge population in Kuwait. And look at the remittances made. 50% of the India for the first time has crossed a mark of $125 billion in a year. Foreign remittances, 50% of it is being remitted by the Indian diaspora. 8 million Indian diaspora from West Asia. And out of it, 2.8% is coming from Kuwait alone. So if you look at all these things, if you put them together and take our mind back to the Desert Storm, how the conflict had actually unfolded, and by intervention of USA and the allied forces, it could be contained and contested effectively. Successfully, it could be brought to a ceasefire. So I personally feel that Kuwait, by virtue of its geographic location, we have Duqm is a place in Oman. We have a military. We are trying to enhance our footprint there, make our presence effective there. We need to have some kind of a military base if it is possible, because if India has to play an important role by 2047 as a global power, we need to be having our places identified right now to enhance our economy, to expand our sphere of influence. Not by going by maritime trade alone is not going to help us. We need to actually cater for things like what the ambassador has brought out. The IMEC has to be kept in the back of our mind. The trade has to be kept in the back of our mind. And all these things will come bear some fruit provided the energy security is there. Renewable energy is fine, but renewable energy till 2075, if we can achieve nothing like it, but until then, we are going to be dependent on the fossil fuel, for which Kuwait is a very reliable partner. And the trade, I would say, balance, it is gradually improving. In past 2 to 3 years alone, India has taken a quantum jump. 34.24% of our
Absolutely.
has actually increased. So
Absolutely. And of
therefore,
course, we hope that there will be a, further impetus to that with this visit. But Professor Nalapat, quickly drawing you in here, the Prime Minister always makes it a point to meet with the diaspora when he goes abroad. He's in Kuwait after, over 4 decades. Kuwait has a number of Indian diaspora. They contribute significantly to, of course, that country. What did you make of his outreach, just a short while back? And how crucial is this visit overall?
Well, I'm delighted the Prime Minister has gone to Kuwait. Kuwait is one country that has never hyphenated India and Pakistan. In fact, there was a time when, when people from Pakistan, they were looked at with much greater scrutiny than people from India, because the Kuwaitis know Indians are moderate, Indians are peace-loving overall, and unfortunately, the Pakistani diaspora is anything but moderate and peace-loving. And the Kuwait Emir, it's a very, very, very liberal royal family, the Al-Sabahs. In fact, once about 30 years ago, I wrote that Sabahism is better than Wahhabism. They're an extremely moderate royal family. They're known for their modernism and progressivism. And the Kuwaiti people are also very modern and progressive. And they welcome Indians. Many of them have been to India. Many of them spend, in fact, vacations in India, especially during the monsoon. And they know India very well. So it's really a welcome development. The Prime Minister has gone there. He's gone there to the home of a country that has really been friendly with India for a very, very long time, and a people that are very friendly with India for a very, very long time. So, Uday, it's a delight that the Prime Minister is there. And yes, General Sudhakarji is absolutely right. There was a period in the 90s and even in the beginning of the 80s when the entire foreign exchange economy of India was the entire strength of the foreign exchange reserves, and the strength of the rupee was based on remittances from, especially from the Middle East. And those remittances are continuing as we speak. So quite apart from the fact that people come from there, they spend money here, the remittance itself was substantial. And Kuwait is a very important chunk of that. So I just want to say that, Uday, that Kuwait is a very special friend of India. They have a very special bond with India. And that bond is shared by the ruling Al-Sabah family in ample measure, as is shared by other, for example, GCC members, that is Dubai and Abu Dhabi, so and Oman, if I may say so. So I'd like to say it's a very welcome development, and the Prime Minister being there, the Prime Minister meeting the diaspora, all that is a very heartwarming sight, and it puts India-Kuwait relations on a fast track, which frankly, it is very important that it be on a fast track, because Kuwait is an exemplar of moderation and modernity for that entire region. Thank you, Uday.
All right. Appreciate all of our guests joining us on the broadcast. We've run completely out of time. Let's slip into a very short break.